But other than that, I just drink tea at home because the coffee at home is pretty bad. So.
Oh, you get both worlds, I guess, then.
Yeah, that's it. Go away! Oh, for God's sake. Fine, just sit down, sod.
You got your pussy out.
Yeah, I have a cat today. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Nothing to Play with me, Pondis.
And me, Kingy.
Right,
That was a good start, wasn't it?
Fucking cocks! I'm not even going to start again.
No, would you keep that? It's fine.
So, not last week, because we missed a week, we were talking about the Nintendo Switch predictions, but before we get into the recap of the Nintendo Switch things, we've got a couple of newsy bits to talk about, which I've actually not read an awful lot about, so Kingy will probably be fielding most of this one. First of all, Andromeda has a 10-hour trial with Origin on March 16th.
Yeah, ooh, I'm looking forward to this.
So what's the deal? I'm guessing it's only Origin. I mean, Origin is EA's thing, and Andromeda is an EA thing.
Yeah, it's just so as long as you've got a subscription to Origin, you'll be able to download the entirety of the game, I assume, and be able to play 10 hours worth of it. And then once you've used those 10 hours, wherever you've got to in the game, your save data will progress into the main game once you've bought that, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's not too bad then. 10 hours seems like quite a long time. I mean, 10 hours you can finish most games nowadays.
Yeah, but this game is not going to be a 10-hour game. I mean, think of the other Mass Effect games. They're all like 60 plus hours.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching people play Resident Evil 7 on Twitch simply because I don't really want to play it myself. And most people tend to go through it in about 7-8 hours. That seems to be the standard. And these aren't people that are rushing through it. So to have a 10-hour trial is pretty good. I don't know if they'll just be like, right, you can't progress the story after this. I bet you could speedrun the game in 10 hours. So they might just get to a stage where you're like, right, you can't progress further than this mission yet. Maybe.
I'm really not sure on what that will entail. But it's like you're going to be spending a good half hour so just trying to make your character. So
you spend an hour creating your character and then sort of like an hour running around trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and then like an hour playing with your stats and things. So.
And then there'll be all the tutorials about the new mechanics in the game, and introducing all the new characters. So a lot of that, I bet most of the 10 hours is just basically the intro to the game.
Yeah, but that's pretty good of them to say. Yeah, you get 10 hours to play. I mean, you get 5. It says 5 days before launch. So yeah, we're looking at 21st launch.
Well, we get it on the 23rd. The US get it on the 21st. It's really weird. It's coming out on a Thursday.
Yeah, I'd have thought that they'd bring it forward or push it back, because the Thursday's not a game day. Like Tuesdays is pretty weird still, but that's the American thing.
Yeah, it's the American thing.
Fridays, I think Fridays is pretty standard. But then most games, I think a lot of games come out on a Tuesday now.
Yeah, it's usually a worldwide
because
release.
They're trying to sync it up. Yeah.
I'm not sure why they've done this. It's just a little odd. I'm sure they got their reasons. Maybe it's just to do with the server, because it's got multiplayer and whatnot.
I don't know. I did read that the multiplayer is going to affect single player somehow.
Well, it did in the last game.
I don't remember it at all in the last.
Well, you had different sections of space that you had to clear out, and it was doing percentages of where the Reaper's threat was. And with multiplayer, if you did stuff, that would bring it down. You had the app that you could do. I can't remember what you had to do on the app, but you had something you could do on the app each day to bring it down. And then there was also the infiltrator game, and you could play through that, and then that would also give you resource bonuses, and would bring the threat down in the galaxy.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess that kind of makes a bit of sense, then.
I assume there's a similar kind of
really...
mechanic going on in the new one.
I tried to play 3 again recently, just because I know the fourth one's well, it's not really the fourth one; it's the start of a new trilogy, I think. But I mean, we know the new one's coming out, so I thought, I'll go back and play it and see if I remember it as good as it was. And I got several hours in, and I was really enjoying it. But then I think Final Fantasy came out, so I was just like, well, that's that done for a bit, and then something else came out, and now I'm just kind of, I don't remember what I was doing. But I think it still stands up pretty well.
I enjoyed all the Mass Effect games, so I'm really looking forward to this. I've actually just pre-ordered it this week, because my plan is I'm pre-ordered it for the PC, because where I've pre-ordered it from, I've got some cash there, so I'm actually getting it a bit cheaper. So I'm getting cash back on it as well. It's gone for another third-party service to get it. So in effect, it's costing me about 30 quid, which is pretty cool. But
that's not bad.
I decided to get it for PC because I was on an hour whether to get it for the PS4 to actually use my Pro, because it's going to have Pro features. But I thought, no, I'll get it for PC, because then I can use the Origin, pay for a month access to that, which is $3.99 on PC.
Yeah.
And then I can start playing it early, and then continue when I get the game, put the code in, and then continue playing.
That's yeah. I mean, would I get it on the PC? I could get it on my PC. I think my PC would probably play it better than my PS4 would. But I don't know. I think I prefer console gaming more to PC gaming. I mean, my PC's connected to my TV anyway, so it's not a screen size issue. I think I just prefer the PS4. Even like console games, you find that a lot of PC games aren't optimized correctly, or there's so many like different variants of PC hardware that it's almost really difficult to create a game for a PC, just because the you have to have different drivers, and everyone's settings are going to be different, and there was a time when a game would come out and you'd have to spend like a good hour configuring it or getting a third party patch to make it actually run, which seems like just a real waste of time.
Oh yeah, so testing games on PC is quite a lot. There's a lot that goes into it, because it's just all the different specs. And trying to you with testing, you try to keep up with the the latest cards, obviously, but also have a good selection of the older cards and the cheaper cards, and all the different processors and sound cards, and all the different controls now, because Steam now has native support for the PS4 controller. You've got that to add into testing as well, and if you're going to support the tooltip icons for that, it's just it is crazy. But you can, if you're smart with your testing, you can cover a very large basis. The other problem is when you start including laptops, because that's even more harder to do, because you have to keep buying new different laptops, because you can't change the
there's a lot you can't change
unless you get one of these prototype laptops, which is basically just the motherboard on the chassis, really, but it's using the same chips as the laptop. You can do it that way, but it's a lot harder to do with laptops.
I never even sort of thought about testing on laptops, but that does sound like
there's a huge proportion of PC gamers that are on laptops.
I'm not surprised, actually. Would I say that's a better way of doing it? Probably not, actually, because a laptop is inherently unupgradable, and a gaming PC of like a much higher spec would probably cost half as less, but like half as much, sorry. But I think that like gaming laptops, I've looked at gaming laptops and thought, a gaming laptop would be really helpful, but I don't see why it would. I guess like if people travel around a lot, then that'd be the reason why you'd invest in a gaming laptop.
Yeah, and go to LANs and stuff as well. It makes it easier.
Oh yeah, if you're big into LANs, so that kind of makes sense. There was the prototype laptop. Was it Razer's prototype laptop that got stolen at was it CES?
Yeah, it was.
The 3-screened laptop. Jesus.
That looked crazy. That did.
It did look pretty. It looked pretty odd, but yeah. I hope that I don't know. I never heard anything back from that. I mean, I wonder. It would be daft if they didn't have an awful lot of tracking software on it.
Yeah.
You couldn't sell it. You would be able to do nothing with it because people would instantly recognise it. You would have to just keep it at home.
Or you give away the spec details and stuff and sell it to another company, maybe. But
Don't know.
I don't know.
Who would be daft enough to be like, oh yeah, they created that 3-screen laptop that got stolen. Now look at our 3-screen laptop. Definitely not the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just a publicity stunt.
Oh God only knows. Maybe someone just did it for the sake of doing it. That's kind of common now, but
maybe. We've slightly gone off topic. The other thing we should mention,
a little bit.
The other thing we should mention about the Origin access, that's only for Xbox One and PC. PS4 doesn't have the EA access.
No, that's it.
Which is really annoying.
I think I've waited long enough. I can wait. I can wait another 5 days for it. To be honest, I dare say it's probably something, unless like Microsoft and EA have got like an exclusivity deal or something.
No, it was all just to do with Sony not wanting it on the system. They said it wasn't value for gamers, and that was basically because they were bringing the PlayStation Now.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hopefully it will change.
So Sony, I think Sony do that quite a lot, but
because
I mean that's
it is really good value. The access it's $3.99 a month, or at least on the Xbox you can buy a year subscription for £20, and then you get access to these 10-hour long trials and see if you like the game. Star Wars Battlefront's on there at the moment. You got FIFA games, UFC.
Is it a streaming thing, or do you have to download the game?
You download the game.
Download the game. I'm guessing once your subscription lapses, you can't play anymore.
Yeah, it will just come up saying you need access or you need to buy the game.
I don't know. I don't think there's been enough EA games. But to be honest, I could probably log in and find like 100 games that I wanted to play. But I don't tend to like subscribe to these things yet. It might. I mean, I've looked at PlayStation Now a couple of times and thought, wow, there's a lot of games on this. It's all streaming. You've not got to download anything, but the games are not great.
It's kind of cool if you're on PC. You never played games like Uncharted or The Last of Us. It'd be a good way of doing it, but I don't know. Not really my thing. I'd rather have the game itself than stream it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know. Maybe EA will. Because Origin always used to be a bit of a joke, but I think
it's improved a lot now.
I think they're getting better.
And
the only
sorry, go on.
The only sort of dealings I've had with Origin is my wife likes to play the Sims 3, and she got really big into Sims 3, and she bought a couple of the expansions on Origin. She pre-ordered them the day they came out. She downloaded them, and she's got all the keys and everything. But when she last installed the game, it kept saying that she'd, like, despite the fact she was using a different laptop, it kept saying that she'd already installed the expansion pack, despite the fact she hadn't even downloaded it, and it wasn't anywhere on the PC, and the game couldn't find it, and she couldn't download it, and it just kept complaining and complaining and complaining. The day she bought it, it charged her twice, and then she had to get a refund for one of them. It was just a real pain in the arse. This is going back a couple of years now, but that's the only sort of direct dealing that I've had with Origin. But yeah, like you say, I think it's getting a lot better because I'm hearing a lot less people bitch about it. So
yeah, I mean, I've used it a couple of times and I've not had any issues with it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway, the next bit of news to go on is some interesting rumours about the Xbox Scorpio.
Yeah, I think I've seen the article, but I didn't read too much about it. So I mean, I know they've
the article goes into a lot of specs.
Situation.
Yeah, it's the ES RAM, which is the stuff that bottlenecks a lot of stuff. So it makes it hard for developers to get games in 1080p. That's why a lot of them are in 900p.
Yeah.
According to this leaked document that was sent to Digital Foundry, they are going to remove that for the Scorpio, which is pretty good. But all games are still got to run on the original Xbox, so they've still got to program for that in the first place.
Yeah, I did read that it's going the same sort of way of the PS4, PS Pro thing, in that it's all games have got to be compatible with both, but they will look better on one or the other.
Yeah, it's just the same as the Pro.
I guess it's kind of the same for PC, at least the current Xbox One PC thing with the crossplay. So you buy it on one, it works on both, but it will look better on. It could look better on PC than it would on. Well, I imagine it would look better on the PC than it would on the Xbox One.
The thing is, it's no real different from having a PC game. It's just, obviously on PC gaming, you've got all the different specs, and the game scales according to what your hardware can do. It's basically do the same with the console. Obviously, it's a little different because it's been tested and you can get, it can be tweaked for those different consoles and have the right settings. But it's basically the same. You're just making the same game, just tweaking it to different hardware.
Yeah, it's and I think there were a lot of high hopes for the Scorpio. I mean, I wasn't sure. I'm still not sure really what to expect. I didn't know if we were looking at sort of like an Xbox branded PC that would have like some kind of upgradability or like a modular system. I'm not really sure what it was, but now, like as time goes on, it's looking more and more like a PS4 Pro. So it's going to be like an Xbox One Pro.
Yeah, essentially, the in this leaked document, it kind of says, well, it doesn't actually state, but it gives the impression that it's still going to be running the same processor, an 8-core processor, and it's going to be overclocked like the PS4 has been. But it does sound like it will be more powerful than the Pro, so that it will be the most powerful console.
But it's quite an old document, isn't it?
Apparently it's from July last year, so I mean all this could have been completely changed by now. Who knows? Until I suppose we'll find out at E3 about everything. But yeah, definitely, this document definitely gives the impression that it's more how the Pro works. So it's going to be, it's not really going to be a 4K machine. It's going to be capable of outputting a 4K, but with checkerboarding type tech bringing that up to the 4K visual. But
which I think is probably fair enough, because I think unless you're going to be a real stickler for it, I've seen the pictures of the 4K output stuff, and it's very hard. I mean, it looks better than 1080. Would I be able to tell it was 4K? Probably not. I mean, even if it was 2K, would it be? I think it's got to the stage where it's probably as detailed as it's going to get.
Maybe. It's just the thing is with 4K, you can see it just gives you a nice, smoother, clearer image, and you can see more things in the background. Really, that's what it gives you.
I think the HDR is probably the more exciting thing. The high dynamic range, so the the colours being more correct, as it were.
Well, what I've seen of that, it looks okay, but I mean, I don't have a HDR capable screen, but I've put some I put Uncharted and The Last of Us on a HDR screen, and it looked all right. It in some areas it looked a little nicer, but it doesn't make me want to go, oh, I really need to buy a new 4K TV with HDR.
No, I need to buy a new TV. Yeah,
it just doesn't appeal to me that much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a 4K screen anyway, so if I got a 4K TV, it would have HDR in it. I guess that's the thing. If you've already got a 4K TV that's not HDR, you probably won't see that much of a difference. If you've only got a 1080 screen, then it wouldn't be worth just getting a 4K screen. You'd have to get a 4K with HDR. But then you've got like 10-bit panels that are better, and it's all at the minute. I think it's all just a bit confusing just because the tech's new.
Yeah, I mean, I bought mine's a 10-bit screen, I believe, but it's not HDR. I bought it just before HDR was kind of in, so it's kind of annoying. But like I say, I've seen it, and I'm not too amazed by it. I mean, Infamous First Light looked quite cool. That did make a bit of a difference, and I think if I had the choice, I probably would play it in HDR. Just because the lighting in the background around the city looked really cool, and it gave you a bit more atmosphere. But again, it's like if you don't see it, you don't really notice it. Yeah. So it doesn't make me want to go out and buy a new TV just for that. But I'd want to kind of hold off my opinion on HDR until I've seen games that have actually been designed for using HDR.
Oh yeah, I mean at the minute all the PS4 Pro games
they've all been patched to use it.
Sort of they're basically upscaled PS4 games. So when they are designed and made for PS4 Pro and downscaled to PS4, then you'll sort of start to see, I think, it looking a lot better. But still, PS4 Pros are a relatively new thing. So I there's still plenty of time.
Horizon Dawn, Zero Dawn, sorry, looks really, really nice. So I think I'll pick that up for the Pro. It looks really
nice anyway. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing it. By then I still don't think I'll have a Pro and a TV. It's just, my TV works fine, my PlayStation works fine. If my PlayStation died, then I would replace it with a Pro. If anything happened to my TV, I would buy a 4K screen. Who knows? But it still looks like it's a really good game. And yeah, it's. I think the beginning of this year is certainly going to be there's going to be a lot of games out.
Oh, it's a crazy lineup this year. Far too many. I'm not going to be able to keep up.
Really, yeah. I mean, that's probably another conversation for another day, actually, because we'll be on that one all night as well.
That's true. The other little bit of information that I saw on NeoGAF this morning, the Xbox Scorpio website, they have they used to show, like, they've got like several different bullet points about the machine, and one of them has gone, and that's the VR. So I'm wondering, because they said it was going to be supporting Oculus, so VR would be able to. Now, I don't know if that actually meant they were going to have VR games on there, or it was something to do with streaming from your PC or something. But that little bullet point has been removed, which I find quite interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty strange. I mean, PS4 supports PSVR. I mean, I think it's better on the Pro.
Yeah, it is.
But you can still run it on the PS4. So if the PS4 can do it, there's no reason why the Xbox, the Scorpio couldn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're reevaluating it. Maybe it's going to be something else. But
again, I'm sure we'll find out at E3 about everything.
Yeah, in a way, I don't see why they'd take it out. But in another way, I don't see why they'd bother including it, because it doesn't. it's not been the runaway success that everyone wanted it to be. People were saying that it's going to change the industry and be the new thing. I've seen a handful of games that sort of support VR. Even the VR games are sort of a bit hit and miss.
It's early days. It's early days.
Yeah, I just don't imagine it being as big as people think it will be. Like the Move and the Kinect, it's one of those things that people kind of rush to support and then slowly slunk away to die.
Well, VR is really, really cool when you're in a car and you've got a steering wheel and you're driving around and it feels, you're looking all around and everything. It makes you feel like you're driving the actual car. And it is really cool. And I was finding I could actually drive these cars better in VR.
Oh god, yeah, I don't doubt that for a minute, but at the same time it's the kind of thing that makes a lot of people just want to puke out their nose. So
that's true.
It's yeah, it's a really I guess it'll be a very specialised thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If it sticks around, it'll be a thing for some people.
Well, it's the pricing as well for VR. That's really got to come down before it becomes a mainstream product.
Oh god, yeah. But then there's still a lot they've got to fix with it. I mean, I sort of thought 3D was a pretty cool idea, but then they need to fix kind of 3D screens, make 3D screens decent and the 3D games decent, and maybe that'll come back in future. But a lot of manufacturers are killing off 3D in their screens. I think Sony have recently said they're not doing any more. I think Panasonic joined them. So
3D is okay in movies. I've enjoyed a couple of movies in 3D, and some of the movies have done it well, where it actually added some. All you want from 3D is depth perception, a lot more depth. A lot of movies just are like, let's use the thing where everything comes out at you and we'll slow everything down so you can see a blade go in front of your face. Ugh, no thanks.
Yeah. I played the new Tomb Raider. I played Tomb Raider on a laptop that had like glasses free, so stereoscopic 3D.
Oh, so basically what the 3DS
like
does,
the 3DS. Yeah, really good. It looked really, really good. But then the laptop itself was about $2,000. And could you imagine cracking that screen? You might as well just throw the whole thing in the bin. So I don't think they sold any, but it looked really cool. But again, sort of like with the 3DS, it's sort of, as you were watching it, you could feel your eyes getting sore and
I didn't use the 3D on the 3DS. I played Ocarina of Time in 3D, but I had to keep turning it off every so often.
It's the sort of thing that I turn on and be like, wow, look how 3D it looks. Then I just turn it straight back off again and then play the game.
Well, speaking of Nintendo, we should probably talk about their reveal and, our thoughts on it, really.
The Switch predictions that we missed. So we said that there would be some Mario, and there was. It's Super Mario Odyssey.
I mean, we weren't going to get that wrong, really, were we?
No.
It's pretty obvious.
No. Although saying that, the Nintendo 64 one was just that Mario. There was loads of Marios running around, and there was rubber ducks or something.
That was the tech demo, wasn't it?
99 Marios or something.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if we'd get something like that, but with loads more. But no, we just got this Mario Odyssey, which is Mario running around a sort of realistic city. So he's running past normal proportioned human beings, and he just looks like this short, fat, dumpy cartoon running around.
I thought that looked really interesting.
I think it looks quite interesting. I think it looks weird though. Like, why couldn't they have made everyone look like him and made it all like? So we're supposed to imagine that this cartoon character's now in the real world.
Oh, I just have to say
like
this:
when you see Sonic running around with people.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it years ago.
Yeah, they did.
So yeah, there's some bits where it's like climbing around buildings and jumping off taxis and swinging off light posts, which. Okay, I think it looks quite good. I'm still not sold on the Switch, but I thought it looked quite cool. I think there's been a lot of people saying that they're outraged about it because this is not a Mario setting, but I don't see why it couldn't be a Mario setting.
Of course it's a Mario setting. Why not?
Yeah, I
something
guess.
different as well.
Mushroom Kingdom's like Mario is like colourful and round and blobby and. But yeah,
but the thing is, this would just be just another world. Like maybe he goes through a different portal or a wormhole, something like that. Something silly, and he ends up being in this alternative dimension where they look like us.
Yeah, maybe it's in two. Maybe it's in like the real world and the Mushroom Kingdom, and there's some puzzles where you have to do something in one world for the other world to do something. I don't know, but yeah, I thought it looked pretty interesting. I thought it looked pretty good. I thought the graphics looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looked really nice.
Which is something.
Really, really nice. His cap with the eyes, basically his cap is now possessed. That's what I took from it. And they got the move where you can throw your cap out and then jump on top of it to get to further places. That was cool.
There was a zoom in on Mario's mustache, and some of the hairs are sort of split out. So it's like they've kind of rendered individual mustache hairs, and I mean they've obviously not. It's one big lump with a couple of extra strands hanging out. But I mean it just shows that Nintendo are maybe trying to go in a more realistic direction with it.
I don't mind that. That's fine.
No, I think it's pretty good.
I mean, I love Zelda, and I always prefer the more realistic style Zeldas than the cartoonish ones. I mean, the mechanic it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter because the mechanics are always the same. But
yeah,
the realistic ones I always prefer.
Yeah. So other than that, we said games running on the hardware, which happened. People were playing Mario and Zelda on the Switch and on the TV.
Zelda looks so good.
Did say, Zelda does look really good, but someone did say that there were frame rate drops on Zelda in certain places, which could just be because it was early code, or sort of early hardware. Maybe the hardware wasn't kind of the final revision, but I mean I don't imagine it being that much of a problem yet. I mean all games there's always sort of some frame rate drops in like PS4 and Xbox One games, so that's not that big an issue.
I don't mind. I mean it's always nice having a stable frame rate, but it doesn't matter too much.
No, it's not gonna ruin it too much. We said Splatoon would likely be bundled with a console, but it's not. It's a full-priced release.
I'm really shocked at that.
I'm not sure that they've changed anything. I think it's just Splatoon, but they're saying, hey, buy it again.
Yeah, pretty much. And that 1-2 Switch game that they're showing off, how is that not a bundled one? How is that 40 quid?
Yeah, I expected that to be like the.
It's got 8 mini games on it or something.
Sports resort thing.
It did not look good. It really did not look good.
It does.
We can milk a cow. What?
And do rock paper scissors, and I guess it shows off the tech, but.
Well, you'd expect something like that in Mario Smooth Moves.
Sports resort. Yeah. It should have been something else. To be honest, it should have been something else. We said sports game and FIFA was announced.
But wasn't shown.
But yeah, and someone was saying like it's gonna be like FIFA Switch edition, so it's they're gonna downscale the graphics and probably take out a few features and things. So
I really feel
will it have the full?
I really feel
the last FIFA had that that career mode thing.
Yeah, I bet that won't be in it.
No, that probably won't be in it.
Because the Xbox One, the Xbox 360 version didn't have that.
Did it not?
No, it was just a One and PS4 thing.
So that's I guess that's pretty conclusive then.
I really feel that the console's coming out too early. Because the lineup of games, it was like there's 5 coming out, and then there's some digital games as well that have been announced recently. I think it was Super Meat Boy and World of Gil or something is being put on there as well.
Great. Some several-year-old games.
Yeah, so they're probably quite easy to port over. But it just seems like they haven't, because they've taken so long to finalise the tech, what they want to do, what they actually want to do. They haven't been giving devs the kits to actually start making games for them. Just haven't given enough time to port anything or anything like that. Like FIFA is usually a launch title, or at least very near to the launch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. I mean, this is the one thing that I'll go into a little bit later on. I mean, the launch schedule. There's a handful of games on the day of release. So you've got your Zelda. I don't even think Mario makes it. So you've got Zelda, that 1-2 Switch thing, Mario Kart, I think Splatoon, and then like
no, they're not even launch days.
Are they not?
No, Mario will be holiday 2017. Mario Kart is the month after, and Splatoon, I don't think there's a date for that yet. Maybe around July, August time or something like that.
I think there's a couple that are coming out. Oh, Bomberman R is a release date, release title. And I was just sort of looking at it, and I thought, God, if I buy this thing on day of release, I will buy Zelda, and none of the other games appeal to me.
Yeah.
And unless I can stretch Zelda out into about 4 months, then I'm going to burn through Zelda, and then the console is just going to sit gathering dust. And it wasn't. I mean, the PS4 was like, when the PS4 came out, there was. I got mine with Killzone, so I played through Killzone, and when I was done with Killzone in like a week or so, there were other games. There was a lot of other games that had been released, so there was plenty to do, and I never once sat there and thought, God, what a waste. So, I mean, on that perspective, I of course I pre-ordered one. I pre-ordered one as soon as the pre-orders went live, but will I keep it? I don't want to spend, because it's going to be what, 280 quid for the console, 50 quid for the game, 330 quid. I don't want to spend 330 quid on something that's just going to sit around for several months. So it's looking likely now that I will cancel my pre-order, wait until there's 4 or 5 games that I want to play, buy the console with one game, play through that one game, get another game. Nintendo have come out and said, or certain, I don't know if it was Nintendo, but someone said that the mistake that people are making is thinking that this is a home console, and it's not. It's a portable console that you can play on your TV.
Yeah, Nintendo are advertising it as a home console that you can take it on the go.
Yeah, so for that, I don't know.
That's Nintendo's stance on it. That's what Nintendo looking at it as.
Yeah, I think it's looking less likely that I will buy one on release date, just because I think it will sit around and do nothing for a long time.
Well,
once I finish the one game that I wanted.
I had mine on pre-order since November last year. Because there was one place here in the UK that allowed me to register interest, and then they let me do an early pre-order. So I did that. I've now cancelled it.
Have you cancelled
it?
Yeah.
The thing is, I've got a huge backlog of games to play as it is, and then there's South Park coming out, and there's Mass Effect coming out, and then there's Horizon Zero Dawn I'd like to get, and I still need to get Until Dawn and play through that. I've got so many games to play, not enough time to do it. I was looking at this and going, well, it's a bit more money than I thought it was going to be. The only game I'm interested in is Zelda, which I do desperately want to play, but I'm probably better off waiting till maybe Christmas time after Mario's come out. I can maybe get a nice bundle deal, possibly even in the Black Friday sales, get a decent deal maybe, and get one then.
A lot of people have said they've cancelled pre-orders because they expect a Black Friday deal, like the console, and it's never that long before Nintendo say, oh look, it's the Switch with this bundled game for £20 more, and you save 30 quid. So I think I think cancelling the pre-order is the smart thing to do. But then at the same time, I know that Nintendo's hardware is particularly limited. So in a way, I'm still like, do I still buy it and then sell it unused? But then I hate scalpers.
Yeah, I've been exactly the same. I've been thinking that, well, I've definitely got a unit. I can definitely get it on launch day. Is it going to be limited quantities? If it is, how much more is it going to go for? How much are people going to want to pay for it? And do I really want to be one of those scalpers? Because I get really annoyed with it as well. And I just went, sod it. I cancelled the pre-order and then pre-ordered Mass Effect instead. That's what I want to play more.
I don't think I'm going to get the console now, just because, like you said, there's a lot of big RPGs. There's the South Park RPG. There's Mass Effect coming out. There's a lot coming out soon that is in that sort of launch window. Sure, there's going to be people that are like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to buy one. It's going to be the best console ever, and they will sort of rub it in for weeks. But ultimately, I think that once the buzz has worn off and people have realised that there's not a new game for several weeks, then I think the opinion's going to change quite quick. I mean, even with the Wii U, they had the same problem. They always have this problem where they launch a console, but there's just no games for it.
See, they're very mindful this time, so I think that's why they're spacing their own games out throughout the year, so it doesn't feel like there's a drought. There's always something coming out, which is a very smart move. It's just on a launch day you expect more games usually. More possibly about 10 or more games you'd expect of a variety of stuff. I mean, Zelda is obviously the main player there, and everyone wants to play that. But it's also coming out on the Wii U, so
yeah. I mean, a lot of people that have got a Wii U, will they go out and buy a Switch just to play it? Probably not. I mean, I've never had. I've resisted buying a Wii U for this long, and it's unlikely now that I will ever bother.
Is it
even when everyone was coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, this is how you crack them, and you can play any Wii U game for free and this sort of thing." But I have no interest in the console.
The console's okay. I waited a year. Well, was it a year? Yeah, I think it was about a year for when Mario Kart 8. I got that bundle, played through that, loved that game. That was great. Played Zombie U, which was also really cool. Played Super Mario 3D World. Hyrule Warriors, that was cool. Monster Hunter, I played a bit through that because it was one of the free games I got with the bundle. I enjoyed it, but I played it for about 6 months, and then it was then just sitting under my TV gathering dust for about another 10 months, and then I went, I'm just going to sell this. There's literally no point in me having this. There's nothing I want really, because I was looking forward to Star Fox, and I got to play that E3, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then when it came out, I'd lost interest, and then the reviews were really bad for it. No one seemed to like it. I was like, no. I'm glad I got rid of it.
Yeah. Oh God, what other exciting things were there? So the you get like the Joy controller, the Joy-Con controller, where you connect the Joy-Cons to the controller thing, so it feels a bit more like a normal pad. The bundled one doesn't charge the batteries.
No, the only way you can charge your controllers is having it docked with the pad.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a pain probably, but I guess if you thought you were going to put a lot of effort in, you would buy like a pro pad or something, so that's probably not as much of a deal as I thought.
The thing is, how I see that playing out is you say you start playing Zelda at home, you've taken the controllers off, you're using the Joy-Con thing, playing that, they're not charging, they're losing battery. Then you go, oh right, I've got to go out, I'll take it with me. So you pop them onto the screen, you undock it. That's going to take even more battery because it's now charging the sticks. Presumably it's charging the sticks because you can then obviously detach them and use that as a 2-player. Now, does it charge whilst it's undocked, so it uses even more battery power, or will it only charge while it's docked? I think the smart thing would be to only get them to charge while it's docked to prevent that. But then that gives the problem that you can't use your controllers.
If the pads are dead, you can't.
Yeah, it might come to a point with that. So you're gonna have to buy this Joy-Con that's £79, which is mental.
Yeah, still, I guess that's Nintendo. The little Joy-Cons are expensive, but that's it was the same with the Wii. Really, the Wiimote was £40. The nunchuck was about another 25-30. That's, I guess, kind of standard.
I mean, that's not so bad. But isn't this just a bit of plastic that you dock with them to charge? It's not. It doesn't come with the actual
Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are the things that go on the side of the screen.
Yeah.
The controller.
I know that, but
is the charging bit. I don't know how much the charging bit costs. I'd expect that'd be like another 40-50 quid.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty bad, but that's the price of controllers, isn't it?
Yeah. No Metroid was shown.
Yeah, I'm annoyed about that because let's face it, that Federation Force whatever it was thing on the 3DS got a lot of people very angry, and everyone was saying this is not the Metroid that we wanted or asked for. But who knows? Maybe Metroid will come back. I don't imagine they're just going to say right, no more Metroid, but it's kind of looking like it, isn't it? There's not been a Metroid for a while.
Oh, I'm sure they'll bring it out at some point.
Yeah, unless they were in the middle of making one for the Wii U and then said, hey, the Switch is coming out, let's just
switch over, yeah.
Put it on that, yeah. So.
Pun intended.
Terrible. So I guess the other note we've got is, are you more or less likely to buy one? I think both of us are much less likely to buy one, being as you've cancelled your pre-order and I'm about to cancel mine. So
I'll look into it towards Christmas time, see what's going on there.
Oh yeah,
I do really want one.
Deal. I really want. I think they look really good, but like we've said several times over, it just the value for money is not there yet, and until they really get the games out and show us what they're releasing, it's just not worth it yet.
No, not really.
So the last sort of topic we've got, which we're probably going to have to cover fairly quickly because we've really gone on about all of this stuff, is games on TV. Should they still be a thing? Because when I was, when we were growing up, I suppose we had Games Master. That was the biggie, with Dominic Diamond and Sir Patrick. I always want to call him Patrick Stewart, but it's Patrick Moore. Yeah. Just as a sort of disembodied floating head. There was an interview with him that said he really knows nothing about computer games. He had no idea what he was talking about. He just read the script.
I love that. That's fantastic.
And yeah, just because he's an astronomer. What does he care about games? It was. I don't even know why they picked him. They could have picked anyone. They just picked Patrick Moore. I would love to know why he was picked. But
he has an interesting face. He looks intelligent.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But he. That was always the like the big show. So they do like videos and interviews and news and reviews and things. Which we went through it with the last episode with the magazine thing. You don't really need that sort of level anymore. So, like, if you wanted to access the news, you would look online. If you weren't interested in going online, you would buy a magazine that you could read whenever you wanted. You probably wouldn't say, "Oh, I'll wait for Thursdays at 6 o'clock on Channel 4 to watch Games Master for 30 minutes about a load of games." Well, it usually wasn't a load. It was usually like 3 or 4 games, and then like 20 minutes of challenges and stuff like that. So
yeah, that kind of format, I don't think really resonates with people so much these days. You've got the Dara Brian's 8-bit thing where they have comedians playing games. I haven't seen it yet. Apparently, it sounds all right, but
No, it's not. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to television. It's really bad. There was a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's not that bad," you know. And I said, "No, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna enjoy it." I watched one episode, and just all the way through it, it kind of made me want to die inside. It was just so bad, and there's the one redeeming factor. Ellie Gibson, who was with Eurogamer for a long time and I think has done various like games journalism throughout the years. She, like, when they introduce the challenges, she does a bit of a speech about the game and the history of the game, and that's really interesting. But the actual them playing the game, there's 2 experts who are actually passable at playing the games, and then like 2 comedians or just celebrities that cannot play games to save their lives and just kind of run around and bumble around and try and be funny while they're doing it, and you just want them to stop. It's really bad. But yeah, I guess that's kind of more of the game show. So like Games Master was probably more of a game show in the end. That was more of a game show. They had like the other big one that I remember was one called Bad Influence, which had,
never saw that one.
It was pretty good. It had, I'm sure the woman's name in it was Violet, and there was a man as well. And I think Violet had a really bad lisp. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and there was like a challenge thing on that as well, and they used to do this thing called an info blast, and you'd have to record it and then play it in slow-mo because it just flashed up screens really quick with cheats and hints and things. So that was again different. I think there was a 3rd show that I seem to remember watching, but I don't remember an awful lot about it.
Did you ever watch the show Game Over? I think it was on Sky One in like the early 2000s.
I think I wanted to.
That basically just showed the latest trailers of games, and then I think it used to show some old game. It was someone just narrating over, and that was about it, really. I can't remember anything else that was on it. That was okay. I mean, that was like, think of it as YouTube before YouTube. it would just do the trailer, and then you get to see, you know, what's coming out. I think it had what's coming out the next week or that month or something as well.
Yeah, I mean there's usually when I flick through the TV channels, there's always the TV station called Jinx. Have you heard of Jinx?
No.
Jinx is on, I don't know if it's on all of them. I don't see why it wouldn't be on all of them. But on Virgin Media, there's an episode. There's a TV station called Jinx, and that's like a gaming TV channel thing. So they will play trailers and like little reviews for games and things. And I tend to turn over, and it's just someone talking about one game. It's always the same game as well. I don't know why. And I'll sort of watch it and be like, I wish I could get more into this, but I just don't care enough. So I don't really think like gaming on TVs is anywhere to go, really.
My favourite show was a show called Bits, which was on Channel 4 about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Bits is the other one I remember. Yeah.
They had the three ladies. They were awesome as well. They really knew their stuff. And they were just really entertaining. And then they would show off some new trailers, and then they would give some background information on games, and yeah, it was just really cool. I loved that show.
Yeah.
Wish that was still around.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be a thing again, but like what format would it take? It'd have to be like a documentary.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Reviews thing.
A documentary style where they can look at get certain game series histories. They could go looking at company histories. They could go chat to people. If they had a documentary series, that would be so much better. And then maybe in that they could also have a roundup of like news or games coming out that month, and just have like a monthly documentary show. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like documentary shows and things, they are fairly timeless. So you could
rerun them all the
watch
time.
the documentary. Yeah, so in like 5 years' time, you could watch the documentary and still learn something. It wouldn't matter. But like a news and reviews thing, unless you're watching it at the time, or certainly in like that week time frame, then it's gonna be like new releases 1983. It's just not gonna.
Yeah, that's true. But the documentary would be so much better.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a like a market for the documentary, maybe. But you know, whose say is that? I think games are quite sort of like dangerous in the TV market. Cause I think a lot of places try to make these game shows, and
yeah, that's because they're cheap. They're cheap, a lot cheaper to make. The thing is, if you did a documentary series and you looked at, like you say, a game studio, or look at someone's like Peter Molyneux, career, how he went through, you know, interview his peers, and you know, maybe follow him around on a working day, but then talk about his past and look at the games and stuff that he did. That kind of stuff is really interesting. I mean, look, and people not even interested in games might be interested in watching things like that.
Yeah, I mean, the only other sort of games on TV sort of is Twitch. I mean, I don't get on. Well, I say I don't get on too well with Twitch. I don't really care that much about Twitch. I don't care to watch someone I don't know play a game that I'm not invested or involved in. So if someone comes around, like you'll come round, we'll play a game together. I'll enjoy watching you play the game because I'm sort of invested and involved in the moment. But as I'm watching someone play a game online, I don't care about the person. I don't care about the game.
You just got that disconnection, haven't you? That's what it is.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I'm not that interested in Twitch. My wife's a bit more interested in it. She'll like to watch games that like I'm not interested in playing. So we've watched a lot of Resident Evil 7, which is why I'm yawning. So stay up quite late watching it. So I recently sort of saw most of it. So I've seen the beginning bit and bits in the middle, and you know, I've seen one of the endings. I know there's sort of multiple endings. And I'll sort of watch it and be like, God, this game looks bad. I'm just not interested in it. Single player games, I find I'm much more interested in watching. But like, I couldn't watch something like Counter-Strike or Left 4 Dead. Just, I don't care, to be honest. I'm not that bothered.
I'm the same. I just don't. I'm not interested in watching people play games at all.
The one that I was kind of half interested in, there's a Friday the 13th game coming out, and they did like a closed beta of it with some like popular streamers, and I was watching someone play this game, and again wasn't particularly that bothered in it, and even the like the game didn't look particularly. The frame rate chugged along a little bit, and the graphics were a bit poor. I think it was like quite an early demo, quite an early code base. But the thing with it was quite interesting to watch people play it because there was no information on how to play it. So it was one of these like 1 versus I think 6 or 7 people. So there was like 7 survivors and Jason. And the survivors didn't really know what to do, and Jason was just kind of like running around after one of them, trying to kill them. And that was quite interesting because people are just like, can I go in here? Why is this door not opening? Is this a door? Can I get in here? Why am I hiding? Is this hiding? Can he see me? And that was kind of like half interesting, just because it was people running around like headless chickens. So that was that was kind of half good. But other than that, like I say, not particularly bothered.
No,
to be fair,
I've rather experienced the game myself.
Yeah, I know what you mean. God, So, I mean, that's... I don't really want to go on too much because I think we'll just keep covering the same ground.
I think that covers that pretty much well.
Yeah. So, I mean, other than that, things that I've done this week, I've played more Final Fantasy 15. I'm like, as time goes on, I'm kind of picking more and more faults with it, but at the same time, I'm still kind of enjoying it. So that's one thing. If you can enjoy a game despite the fact you see the cracks in it, then I guess there's something to be said for the game. There's been loads of pictures. If you follow the Facebook thing, you'll see that I see slowly modding a SNES. I'm still slowly modding a SNES because I'm waiting for an oscillator to turn up. If you did see, I did put a post on because today I was sort of sat around thinking, I've got a Master System at home I'm not doing anything with. I wonder if I can mod a Master System. So then I ended up buying a whole bunch of parts to mod a Master System, which will just make it easier to record some Master System footage. And I've got Ninja Gaiden on the Master System, so that would be good to get a comparison for the NES and the Master System one. So that would be quite good. Anything else that I've done? God, is there anything else that I've done? For TV, finally something to talk about on the TV. I resubscribed to Netflix because I realised that there was not an awful lot on TV at the minute, and binge watched both series of Rick and Morty. It's just such I don't even know why I like it. It's just really watchable. You don't even have to put that much effort into thinking about it. There is a story arc, but like you can watch the episodes out of order, and it really doesn't make that much of a difference.
I really need to watch that.
It's really good. The one thing I will say against it is that Rick is the alcoholic grandfather, and he's always burping, and it always sounds like he just wants to be sick. So you're just like, just barf and get it over with and get on with your life. But it's really good. If you've got Netflix, just stick a couple of episodes on a day. It's really really watchable. I don't think I can recommend it enough, to be fair.
I'll have to give it a try at some point.
You should.
You should. The usual thing is there's so many bloody TV shows to watch. I mean, I've just been catching up on Vikings, which is so fucking good. You need to watch that, man. That's so good.
I probably should. I don't know if I've seen one or two, or if I'm confusing them with Black Flag. Black Flag was pretty good, but I don't know if it's still a thing. But yeah, I do need to go back and watch Vikings. I think there's quite a lot of it now.
Yeah, this is season 4, and I'm on part 2 of season 4 now. I think there might be one more episode left to air, and I'm on episode 7 of part 2. I know. I checked the other day. There was part 8. I think part 9, episode 9, is up now as well. So I'm still trying to catch up on that. I've been playing Mad Max.
Oh yeah, is it any good?
I'm actually really enjoying it.
I've seen it a lot for sort of £10 or less. There's digital copies and like the boxed copies, and I think I look at it and I heard a lot of not bad things about it, but there was a lot of people saying, it's one of these take it or leave it games. It's not, but I think for like £10 the price is right. Although today I did buy Vermintide finally for the PS4 just because it was £15.
Oh, PS4. Because you should have got a PC, then we could play together.
Yeah, I thought about that again, but I was just sort of like, how often would I play it? And then I decided not an awful lot. But I kind of think the PS4 version is only just come out, so there's probably going to be more people playing it.
I'm pretty sure there's loads of people playing on PC.
Yeah, I know there was a massive lull just before the PS4 and the Xbox One version came out. It basically had gone down to about 300-400 people a day, and there was forums saying it's next to impossible to get a game. But I sort of thought £15, I'll play it. I think you can get like AI characters, so just play it like Left 4 Dead. I think it would be one of those things that I play all the campaign missions and just be like, well, I'm done with that now. But kind of for 15 quid, I thought it would tide me over until like one of the big RPGs comes out, and that's kind of all I really wanted it for.
I mean, I already played it once over Christmas with a couple of friends. I had a good time, but at some point I'll get around to playing it again.
Yeah.
This is my problem. I've got 2 levels of Doom left to play.
Oh God, finish Doom.
Yeah, I need to finish that. I started playing Mad Max. Yeah, I got that on PC and I got that for like 4 quid. No, 3 quid, sorry.
Really cheap.
Yeah, I got it off CD keys. That was a fantastic price. And I was because I started playing it at work at lunchtimes, and then I on Sunday I was like, right, I'm gonna have a go on my PC, and I was like, right, I'm gonna put it on 4K and crank everything up to high and very high and see what happens. And because I'm running a 980. And I was getting 50 frames per second. It would drop down to 42 in some places.
Oh Jesus, 42,
yeah,
practically unplayable.
But,
I don't even know why you're bothered.
Oh yeah, I was really happy, and the fact that I've got a G-Sync monitor as well, it just felt like I was playing at 60 frames anyway. So
yeah,
I'm like loving this. It looked really nice. The great thing about the game, because it's in a desert and there's not a lot of rendering going on, it can actually keep those higher frame rates. But I tell you what, if I had GTA 5 on my PC and put that in 4K and everything high, my computer would just die. It would never be able to cope with that. But with Mad Max, it's doing pretty well. I'm enjoying the game. I'm just enjoying going around, just doing the side quest stuff, building up my bases and grabbing the loot and stuff. I haven't really done too much of the main missions. I'm just trying to level my character up and my car up as well. But yeah, it's good.
There was a comparison with Mad Max between was it the game or the film? I think it was the film. And they had the film in 4K. They had a film in 1080, the film in 4K, and then the film in 4K HDR. And the HDR was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that I'll invest in, but that'll be fun.
I might get into that stuff in about 10 years' time, and I contemplate maybe upgrading my TV then.
Yeah.
By then we'll be on 8K.
Oh yeah, by then we'll be on like 8K or like holographic TVs or something.
I'm trying to think what else I've done. I can't think of anything else that I've been doing. Oh, I was last weekend. There was the WWE had the UK Championship tournament, and that was fucking awesome. If you're a wrestling fan, definitely go and watch that if you've not seen it yet. So good. And then this weekend they've got the Rumble and NXT Takeover this weekend, so it's another good big weekend of wrestling for me.
Yeah, it's wrestling's one of those things I kind of wish I cared about a little bit, but no part of wrestling, like, I don't like the drama bit, I don't like the actual fighting bit.
So there's nothing there that...
No, there's just nothing there for me. It's like Hollyoaks and a scrap. Just, not for me.
I will not have you knock wrestling and comparing that to bloody Hollyoaks. Not that shit. Fuck that.
Hollyoaks is probably an unfair comparison. But,
it's way better acting in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's kind of all from me. If you've got anything else you want to add.
No, that's it. I want to do a new room tour video for my YouTube channel, so I might get that done this weekend. Oh, I also completed and got all my Infinity figures. I have every single one now. All 104 figures.
Oh Jesus, that'd be pretty cool. Actually, it's a shame they never made the third game. Was it the third game?
No, the third game came out.
The one that they didn't make looked really good. It had the Moana set on it and like the Doctor Strange figure.
They were add-ons for 3 as far as I remember.
Well, either way they were cancelled.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Well, that studio's been bought by Warner Brothers now, and they're now making a Pixar-related movie tie-in game. So they're owned by Disney, and then Disney goes, "Oh, this game, it's making us money, but it's not making as much money as we thought it was going to do. So we're going to cancel this." They get bought by Warner Brothers, and now they're making a Disney game. So
yeah, they're making Disney games. Yeah. Well, I'm sure Disney will love that because they've not got to put any effort in and make royalties from it.
Oh yeah, so. But the thing is, I like Disney. I like what they do, but when it comes to video games, fuck them.
Yeah, they don't make good games.
It's so no, it's not that they make
like
bad games or anything. It's just that they never put support into it. They just don't like video games for some reason.
Yeah, which is great because they've bought Star Wars, and Star Wars games are usually hit and miss, but there's a lot of people that are campaigning to get them just to finish 1313. I'm hoping it happens because that looked like a great game.
I'm pretty sure that was cancelled.
Yeah, well, they cancelled it, but that was before Disney bought Lucas, so who knows? Chances are they won't do anything with it, but it'd be nice if they did.
Yeah, it'd look really cool. I'd love it.
Yeah, I thought it looked great. Right, so other than that, you can find us as Nothing to Play on Facebook. You can find me as Pondis Plays on Facebook. I'm on the other one, Twitter. That's how often I use it. I don't remember what it's called. Sort of semi-regularly, I try and be involved with it, but then, like I say, I forget about it, and it kind of just goes downhill from there. If you want to, give us loads of money so I can just make that my job, I will be much more involved with it, but that seems unlikely for ever. I'm going to go with ever.
Yeah, forever, yeah, definitely. We should probably say that we're up on Stitcher, aren't we?
Oh yeah, so the podcast is up on Stitcher and Pocket Casts and YouTube and iTunes and all of the good places where you like to get your podcasting content. I would assume that if you're listening to this, all three of you, that you have your preferred method of choice of listening. I don't think anyone's going to stream the thing on the website. And if you are streaming the thing on the website, why? Just do it somewhere else.
No, they can do it if they want. It's up to them. They can download download it, put it in their MP3 player.
Yeah, if that's that's the easiest method for you, then do it, because people listening is good.
I think if we're not on a podcast service that you like using, they should probably contact us. If you go to the site, you'll be able to email us or or go to one of our Twitter places and let us know. We'll try and get onto those places as well.
Yeah, do that, and God, I guess we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, pretty much. You can find me on Twitter, Ivan_Zar. I'm Bald Bearded Gamer on Instagram and Facebook, and I think that's everywhere.
I sort of feel like I should get an Instagram thing, but I don't think I'd ever use it, so I'm just not going to bother.
Well, my Instagram is just basically whatever retro game I end up picking up, or some kind of gaming related thing. So if you want to be nosy about what I pick up and find, you're quite welcome to come and follow me.
Maybe I'll do that. It might be the only way that I learn what you have now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's goodbye for me.
Yeah, and it's goodbye from him. Two Ronnies.
Hey. Old school, even before our time.
Yeah.
All right.
Now you're aging us. Don't age us.
All right, I'll catch you later, everybody.
Yeah, see you later.